Welcome everyone. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Good day to you. All right, we're going to complete our discussion, our mind discussion. I keep including you like we're having a dialogue, but in a way I kind of feel we are. So the Tripitaka master Shan-Wu-Wei. Nichiren ends this go-show with a bit of a flurry. Let's see now. He writes this to Jokenbo and Jijobo. So he's talking to senior priests at which temple in Awa? Sechoji in Awa. So you can tell this Gosho has had kind of stern commentary. And the reason being is when he writes this letter to these other priests, or these other head monks of these temples, he's instructing them. So as much as he's embattled in his day, I'm sure you realize by now, by leaders of other sects who want to claim that they're superior, and therefore, they work with the shogunate to persecute Nichiren, and to no avail, because Nichiren keeps coming back. They try to take his life. It doesn't work out. Nichiren's okay. They exile him to Sado Island, and he serves his time there. He survives, and he comes back. And all the while, he's communicating with his dedicated monks, who are his disciples, English word, but they're his inner circle, if you will, of other monks who are taking his teachings and promulgating them to lay people, and cultivating other monks, right? So this is why a lot of his Gosho, his letters, sometimes take a stern tone, or even a Q&A tone, because they're not simply letters. Every now and again there's a very sweet letter. It's very complimentary and has teachings in it and so forth, and those will be to individuals, men and women. But oftentimes in the Gosho, what we read are these depths of scholarship, and like this one, quite passionate, because he's instructing with these letters. He's keeping the practice of Buddhism and his teaching of Buddhism clear and concise, and driven by the sutra, not opinion. And so he's quick to really quash that. And in this sutra, he's speaking directly about one of his confrontations with the True Word School that keep trying to squash his teachings of Buddhism, and exile him. So he ends this Gosho with kind of a flurry and encouragement to these other priests, so they know how to approach these onslaughts from these other groups, right? Or if the government official comes by and says, well, so-and-so is saying you guys are da-da-da-da-da. And so Nichiren is empowering these people, these other monks, to say, whoa, 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 here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. And so gradually the government and the powers that be are starting to lend respect to not only Nichiren, but his inner circle, his group, as a really viable sect, if you will, or entity of religious teachings. So, with that in mind, here we go. Nichiren says, now, I, Nichiren, have repaid the debt of gratitude that I owe to my teacher, and I am quite certain that both the Buddhas and the gods will approve of what I've done. I would like to ask that all I have said here be reported to Dozenbo, even though one may resort to harsh words. If such words help the person to whom they are addressed, then they are worthy to be regarded as truthful words and gentle words. So that's interesting. And this is the whole seesaw between shoju and shakabuku, as I've said in other videos. This is the struggle of our times, right? How to be a good friend is to not only be congratulatory and supportive, but to also point out under knowing uncertain terms when an error is being compounded or a very terrible error. We have to stand the ground of truth, and sometimes it means we have to shake loose the cobwebs in our friend who's simply not seeing what they're doing incorrectly, and we have to stand to correct them. And sometimes that can be, as Nichiren says, it can be harsh. But even if it's harsh, the intent is what I keep coming back to. The heart behind the words is one that is actually conciliatory, that's trying to help, that's redirecting, there's nothing. It's like salve on a wound. It may sting at first, but it will heal the wound. And so words can work that way too. It's all about our intent. Are we being harsh because we want to be harsh and hurtful, or are we being harsh because we are desperately trying to aid and help, right? Okay. So, though one may use gentle words, similarly, if one uses gentle words all the time, if you don't address the error, if they harm the person to whom they are addressed, they are in fact deceptive words and harsh words. So, just because you're speaking softly and saying things in a soft way, if you're not really helping the person, if you're not redressing their errors, then you're actually compounding the error. You're guilty of harm. Follow? A pretty simple concept I think you can understand these days. The Buddhist doctrines preached by the scholars these days are regarded by most people as gentle words, truthful words, but in fact they are all harsh words and deceptive words. I say this because they are at variance with the Lotus Sutra, which embodies the Buddha's true intention. There's the word, intention. On the other hand, when I proclaim that the practitioners of the Nembutsu will fall into the hell of incessant suffering, or declare that the Zen and True Word schools are likewise in error, people may think I am uttering harsh words, but in fact I am speaking truthful and gentle words. As an example, I may point to the fact that Dozenbo has embraced the Lotus Sutra and fashioned an image of Shakyamuni Buddha, actions that came about because I spoke harshly to him. Remember, Dozenbo was his teacher. And the same thing holds true for the people of Japan. 10 or more years ago, virtually everyone was reciting the Nembutsu. But now, out of 10 persons, you will find that 1 or 2 chant only Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, while 2 or 3 recite it along with the Nembutsu. And even among those who recite the Nembutsu exclusively, there are those who have begun to have doubts, and so, in their hearts, believe in the Lotus Sutra. Some have even begun to paint or carve images of Shakyamuni Buddha. All this, too, has come about because I have spoken harsh words. So, just in case you're wondering, that's not an encouragement to paint and engrave images of Shakyamuni Buddha. Buddha himself, Shakyamuni himself, would have. There's a danger in doing that because you're not following me, the Buddha. You're not following me, the image. You're following the intent in the teachings. Your own Buddha. Paint a picture of that, right? That's more appropriate, especially in this latter age. This response is like the fragrant sandalwood trees that grow among the groves of foul-smelling aranda trees, or lotus blossoms that rise from the mud. Thus, when I proclaim that the followers of the Nembutsu will fall into the hell of incessant suffering, the, quote, wise men of our day, who are in fact no wiser than cattle or horses, may venture to attack my doctrines. But in truth, they are like scavenger dogs barking at the Lion King, or foolish monkeys laughing at the god chakra. So, once again, and this may sound very boastful, but he's really not boasting about himself, Nichiren. He's indicating that what he's clarifying and what he's standing atop, the Lotus Sutra, is everything to his survival and to the truth of what he's proclaiming. It's evident in what's happening around him and these other sects and in the country in general. So, with that, this was written in 1270. Nichiren closes this Gosho. So obviously he's living in a time of great turmoil, and he's having to he encourages people and monks in different ways. With monks, he's very, very centered on the sutra, the teachings themselves. With people, he's really compassionate in understanding their personal travails in life, not just in practice, and generally gives tools of practice to help those people in their travails of life. Whereas with the Gosho that are intended for priests and teachings are really just about scholarship and their vis-a-vis his position in society and in Japan with the responsibility of I want to say he's often called a great reformer, but I think in the West we think of reform as change, change to a different idea, a new idea, and that's not the kind of reformation that Nichiren represents. He represents, as Buddhism, I've pointed out, has had over the centuries, that scholarship always comes back to center. Says here's where the teaching stands, and this is what their intent and meaning is, and all of these others are derivations that have gone down regional and personal paths that don't reflect the correct line of teachings, the correct intent, right? So Nichiren is another in that lineage. The next Gosho will be the essence of the lifespan chapter. Whew, that should be a good one. That's where Buddha Shakyamuni really drops a bomb on all of his followers and future followers that, okay, you all see me as Buddha the man, but Buddha is really a life condition, and it's in each and every entity, living, sentient or non-sentient thing. It's the essence of the true nature of all life, all things, all suchness, all material. The material world comes from this energetic core, clear, without distinctions, the Buddha nature. That's Buddha. And in the lifespan chapter, 2,700 or so years ago, this man was trying to teach this to the local people. So no small feat. Anyway, thank you for participating in this. As always, make comments, support me if you can at Patreon. All those links will be in the last few seconds of this video. Have a great day. Stay healthy. Love all of you. Respect all of you. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. See you again soon.